Bullis, our team of the United States, Maryland high school, they came out to perform. You saw on the boys' side, you had Quincy Wilson, who brought home the Athlete of the Meet award after splitting a 44-37 and a 44-65 in the high school 4x4. He is a sophomore in high school. Noah, you're a 400-meter runner. Like, could you break down actually how impressive that is as a high school boy sophomore to be running those types of times and to bringing your team into these types of contentions?
It's absolutely incredible. I believe that there was one, maybe two guys on the USA World Championship 4x4 team, gold medalist team last year, run times comparable to this 16-year-old child. That is this kid is so special. I say that word pretty often, but like, he is special to be 16 years old and sophomore in high school. Like, bro just had a geometry test the day before, and then he goes and splits 44-37. Absolutely incredible. Like, there's only a few people on this earth that can do that, and he's one of them. So that's incredible.
Yeah, the 4x4, like, so for those that didn't know exactly what happened, I'll break down. He kind of he had to run that to get their team even into the final. Like, so Bullis, they were one of the favorites to potentially, win the entire 4x4, but in the prelim, there was a fall. Their second runner, he bumped the baton, got bumped out of his hand. He fell on the track over the back corner, and so they go from being in first to now being a couple, like 15 meters behind. And so Quincy gets the baton, 15 meters back. And in order to make it to the final, guaranteed, you have to win the heat in order to qualify off time. Like, he would have had to run a crazy time. And so if he didn't split a 44-37, they would not have made it to the final. And so they needed something special from this kid, which is just extremely impressive to see him coming up in this rare form of, you don't see that happen ever, especially at a high school level, especially as a sophomore. And so just like super impressive from him to end up doing that. And then in the final, there was they fell again. Like, I don't know what's going on with them. Like, it's like they just caught some bad luck. But what happened in the final? It is the third runner, so it's the second going off to the third runner. And it's really tight. It's between them, this other high school, Excelsior from Jamaica, as well as Jamaica College that is up there. Oh no, Kingston College, Excelsior, Bullis, as well as Bishop McNamara. Those are the four schools that are at top, and it is really close. And so currently we have Bullis in third place, and if it's probably like a meter difference, they're going to hand off. Team from Excelsior, they were behind them at the time. He hands the baton off, trips over his own legs, falls in front of the guy from Bullis. And then as Bullis goes to turn around and run and get started, the guy is already on the ground in front of him. And so he just trips over him. Kingston College, as well as Excelsior, they were in the far inside lane. So it doesn't affect them, but it affects the guy from the kid from Bullis, which was, I believe, Cameron, who ended up falling. And apparently he's a freshman too. And so this is happening to a freshman in high school. And he still picks himself up. They've fallen back to about fifth place at this time. And so they're going around, and it's just like, there's no chance. They're in no man's land at this time. By the time they give the baton to Quincy, it's just, they're running by themselves. And they hand the baton off to Quincy. He does something special again, a 44-69, and gets them right into third place and the top spot amongst all United States schools. It was just the roar of the crowd after, like, on that anchor leg was incredible. You would have thought this was an Olympic final, but it was just 17-year-old kids running track and field, which was ridiculous. And it just goes to show, if that fall hadn't happened, there's a lot of stuff that could have happened, because there was a protest. So for another little inside, I'll give you some game. It's a Track World News exclusive. So I was the only person that was standing behind on the track to be able to do this. So
you heard it here first.
Heard it here first. So this is what happened. Bullis College comes in third place. You would think, and this is the last event of the meet. All right, cool. The meet's over. Let's go home. Let's call it a day. Congratulations, Kingston College. It's a wrap. Cool? Nope, it's not what happened. There's 2 protests that happened during that competition. One from Bullis and then one from and one from Bishop McNamara. So Bullis was doing a protest that Excelsior, the team that came in second, that there was lanes infringement, because they fell right in front of their runner. And you can hear this directly from their coach, Coach Lee, in another video that I have on YouTube. He breaks this down completely. But so he falls right in front of their runner. And because he didn't have any space, the number 3 runner, to run, he protested as if that's lane infringement. Like, our runner didn't even have a chance to get out because it was right in front of him. And so that is an infringement, and they should be, and they protested that they should be disqualified for that because they didn't give their runner a chance. So that was the first protest that they had going on. Bishop McNamara, also of Maryland, they were protesting that Kingston College should be disqualified because they also had a lane infringement when they were passing the baton from second to third. They were pushing them a little bit, in the exchange zones, and they claimed, hey, that should be a disqualification. You're impeding our athlete during this handoff. And so now, if both of these protests went through, we would have then had Bullis end up being the 4x4 champions, which would have been the first time in 17 years that a United States team won a 4x4. Quincy wasn't even alive last time they won. These athletes weren't even born last time the United States won at Penn Relays in the 4x4. So this would have been something huge. And something that I didn't know, apparently, at least in high school, you have to pay $20 to protest a meet. Like, in order to get the jury involved, you got to pay money to get people to actually formally protest, which is crazy. I had no idea that was a thing. So they're going through their protest. This is taking an hour and a half. I'm standing in the mix zone watching the coaches going through the rule book. They have videos that they're going through. They're taking pictures and screenshots. They're printing them out. They're blowing them up. They're looking at everything, trying to figure out what was going on. And it's cold. It is freezing at this point. The concert had already started. The meet is over. They're packing stuff up, and they're still trying to figure out who the winner was. After some time, they initially said the protests don't go through. Kingston College, you're the champions. Excelsior second, and then USA with Bullis. You guys were the first team USA to win and got third place. Just a long time of going through, an hour and a half worth of protests that went on behind the scenes that people may not have seen, but. Overall, crazy meet, a wild competition. I'm not sure if you've ever had any experiences like that, but had you ever been in a situation where there were some protests going through, and as an athlete, was there ever something where you're just like, man, I just want to go home? Or what's the emotion at that time when you got something, kind of dragging out for an hour and a half at that point?
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. So in high school, this is a high school event. In high school, I ran a 4x200 at New Balance Nationals. We were in the emerging elite division. I think it was my sophomore year in high school, and we won. Right, I ran the ankle leg. I ran the crazy leg. The team's happy. Whatever, we won. We get our medals, get our crowns. We celebrate. We took our pictures. We all on Instagram, flexing, all of this. Right. We leave the facility, go over to Chipotle. I remember we was getting our food. I was in line ordering, and my coach kept calling me. So this is probably like an hour, a good hour and a half after the race was over. So they calling me. I'm like, man, I ain't answering right now. I'm with the homies. I'm with my guys. We just want a title. We flexing, talking to girls and stuff in the restaurant. I ain't trying to answer. So I finally answered, what's up? He's like, y'all got to come back, bring the medals. I said, what? You got to do that for? He's like, just come back, bring the medals. I'm like, hey, y'all, we got to go back, bring the medals. I don't know what this is about, right? So we go back, whatever, find coach, like, hey, y'all, we got DQ'd. Huh? Oh, such and such protested, we got DQ'd because, our leadoff leg, he was stepping on the line. We was crushed, bro. Because the protest actually went through. We already took the pictures, you know what I'm saying, Instagram, everything. So, man, for that to go through and us to lose like that, it was heartbreaking as a young 16-year-old self. But, I have had my fair share of experiences there with protests and being on the bad side of one. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Like, are those pictures still up on Instagram, or did you take them down?
No, they might be on one of my relay members. One of my relay members might still have it up on his Instagram, but I took mine down, man. I can't be false flexing like that.
Yeah, that's tough. That stinks, man. Yeah, like that had to be brutal for them, to be coming through. I mean, and the coach and the athletes handled it very well at the end. Like, they were like, "Don't be sorry for us. Like, look, we'll be back." And they're actually there's gonna be a rematch this upcoming week in Maryland against Kingston College, Excelsior, Bishop McNamara, and Bullis. So they're gonna run it back very next, which you don't see very often, especially in high school, like these levels of athletes coming back at it. So excited to see what that's gonna be. But yeah, that just had to be crushing and if that fall didn't happen, they're winning that race. Like, they lost about 2.5 seconds on the race, and then they lost by about 2 seconds as well. And so if they're right there, like, I'm taking Quint, the guy that runs 44 in high school, over, because the anchor leg for the other teams are running 46, which is an incredible times to be running in high school. But like, you got a guy running professional level times, that's something different. So yeah. I was talking to them. I wonder what your thoughts are. Do you think that the high school national record 4x4 could potentially go down? It is a 3:07:40 from 1985. They were splitting a 48.1, a 47.7, a 47.1, and a 44.5. A guy, Hawthorne from California. Do you think that we could see a potential, high school national record in the 4x4 go down for the boys side?
What did Bullis run this past week?
Yeah, Bullis ran a 3:13:10 with the fall that they had.
So 3:13:10 in April. With, let's say, 2 seconds, 3:11. You said a 3:08 is the record? 3:07 is the record?
3:07.4. That's fast, man.
I don't see it, but they'll definitely run sub 3:10. I'll book them for sub 3:10. National record, they need, I don't know if they were checking birth certificates at the time, bro. 3:07 is fast. Like, 3:07 is fast, for real. I remember when I was at Akron, we might have ran like 3:09 in one conference, so like, that's impressive. So I don't think they'll run that, but they should run sub 3:10, and that is something to be very proud of.
Yeah, if you run a 3:07, like, I don't know what the times are, but you could dang near qualify for like NCAAs. You're pretty dang close. Like,
you'll definitely make the first round. Like, you'll probably make the regional meet. Like, I'm not positive, but proud.
You know something even crazier? That's not even the fact. Like, Calabar in 2018 ran a 3:03:79 at Penn Relays.
It's crazy.
Splitting 47.6, 45.5, 45.8, and a 44.8. Ridiculous. Just crazy work. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Man. And so we'll stick one more race with Bullis. So the high school, for the girls, they broke the high school national record for the girls 4x4. They ended up running a time of 3:35:17. Came in second place overall to Heidel, who ran a 3:34:78 that made their third championship in a row for them. And it came down to the line. It was a lean at the line for who was going to be the winner. It was super close. And they also have a very young team. Both teams are going to be returning with at least 3 of their athletes next year, which is ridiculous. You usually see team, 4x4s in high school are all seniors, when you're doing this, and to be returning this, I mean, it's crazy. Like, we've seen Bullis be in the spotlight as there's not many high schools that track and field at like fans would know. Like, Bullis is one of them. Like, what do you think they're doing at that school? I know you ain't go to Bullis, but like, what do they got to be doing at that school where, they're just having athlete after athlete after athlete coming from there, man?
Yeah, well, to start off, man, the DMV just has a ton of talent. And I think when Bullis started getting more hot around like 2016, I want to say, I feel like a lot of kids would commute an hour and a half, 2 hours just to transfer there and go there and give themselves an opportunity once they saw what was going on. A lot of collegiate runners, even a couple pro runners at this point, have been developed through Bullis. And, I just think it probably gained clout in the city and in the area. And now kids from all over the DMV want to travel there and go there, for a better opportunity, which I'm all for, completely support, so whatever they're doing at Bullis, man, they're doing it right. They got the New Balance deal over there, constantly getting the coolest jerseys and stuff. I know Masai Russell went there. Like, it's a dope school, dope program what they got going on, man.
Yeah, they wore like 5 different uniforms at Penn Relays. Like they had the pink ones, yellow ones, green ones, black ones. I was like, bro, how many uniforms y'all got? Like my school in high school, we had 2. We had a black one, we had a white one. That was it. And like the black one, you only got if you went to states. Like we didn't have it like that. So like I'm like, damn, that's how y'all made it. And the rest of your school is sponsored by Under Armour. And just the track team is New Balance, because they were like, nah, we're taking this over. Like that's how you know that you made it. Coach Lee, I was talking to him. He's a great dude. Like he was also a fan of the program. So appreciate that you're a fan of the show, Coach Lee. So just what they're doing over there is special. So it's something crazy for sure.